Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this Oreo themed cake. In a food processor I've added about 230 grams of Oreos and just pulsing that on medium speed and then crushing it down to about a sand consistency, a bit thicker than sand. Adding that into my buttercream, about half of that into my buttercream, and whizzing that on medium speed just for a couple of seconds. You don't want it to turn grey, you just want the crumbs to be distributed. And I have 2 glasses here of some white chocolate and one of dark chocolate. Added in about a teaspoon of oil so that I could add in my gel food colour without the chocolate seizing. So I've turned one grey, one white, and the dark chocolate I've turned black. Then empty that out onto some non-stick baking paper. Flatten it out by tapping it onto your counter and also by kind of shaking the paper downwards and really spreading that chocolate. Once you're happy with the thinness of your chocolate, fold it in sections and then peg it to keep it that way. And that's how you create the chocolate flags. Let that rest in the fridge for 10 minutes if you like, or even at room temperature for about 20 minutes. Do the same with the other chocolates. This is a grey chocolate that I've made. Again, just pinching it and pegging it. The white chocolate I have spread, and then while it's still wet I've just added a couple of the Oreo crumbs. Then let those rest. In the meantime we'll assemble our cake. So I have a 10-inch cake board, 5-inch cake, and applying the same buttercream frosting that we made before with the Oreos into the center of my cake layers. So this will be our filling as well as our frosting. Keep laying on your cake. I've used 2 5-inches, I've cut those into 3, so I have 6 layers of cake in total. Take your bench scraper and just give it a bit of a clean, and then I've gone in with my spatula and I'm adding a thin coat of this buttercream to catch any crumbs. Do the same with the top as well and around the edges, and then just give it a bit of a clear up and pop it into the freezer for 10 minutes just so that it has time to harden a little bit, and it'll keep our cake straight while we go on to our final layer of frosting. So a decent amount at the top, rolling it out to the sides, and now applying a whole heap of frosting to the side of a cake. Take your bench scraper, smooth it down, and apply any more buttercream frosting wherever it is that you have any space that's kind of empty. Clear it up, and clear up the top again, just dragging that buttercream to the center of your cake. And when you're happy with the neatness, you can go ahead and decorate it. I didn't pop it into the fridge because I didn't want it to be hard and then mess up my shards. So I've gone in with the dark one at the back. I'm just cutting a little section to fit in the rest just so that there's less resistance and my shards are less likely to break as I pop them into the cake. Then decorate the top with your Oreos. I've got the large Oreo cookie and the minis here. And I've taken some regular copy paper with a little bit of sticky tape, wrapped it around the cake to create a mask, and then grabbing the remaining crumbs and pressing it firmly up against the cake. Once you've done that all the way around, you can remove your mask, and you should have a nice straight line separating the cake from the crumbs. Here I've made some ganache, which is just dark chocolate and cream. I'll have the recipe for that in the description box below. Putting it into a piping bag and just drizzling it down the side of my cake. Make sure that your ganache is completely melted down, otherwise you'll get little pieces that get trapped in the piping bag and it could cause problems. So make sure it's nice and smooth and there's no lumps in your ganache before you start piping. And I've piped this all the way around to the side and the back as well, so I've covered half the cake with this just along the edge. And then add an Oreo cookie to the base with some ganache, and you're done. That's how you decorate a cake using Oreo buttercream frosting. It's also how you create a seamless crumb section on your cake with the masking, and also another way of creating the chocolate flags on your cake. So a couple of techniques all incorporated into one video. I hope you guys are able to take something useful from this tutorial. And thank you for watching. I will see you again on Tuesday.